Sunday Reflections. And today is kind of a very interesting day. We're learning something that happened almost a year ago, but it took 8 years to get to that year ago last time when they were able to put the shovel into a place. And we'll talk about that. But today we have really two people here that are going to be talking with us and enjoying this time with you. And Greg White, you're here as well.
Good morning.
Good morning. And also Mark Bailey.
Good morning,
thank you.
Mr. Ray.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Happy to be here. Proud to be here.
So before we get started, as we always do, we also want to thank our sponsors. So we have to do that first. So DJ's Clam Shack is in St. Augustine, and it's really a craving fresh, flavorful seafood in the heart of historic St. Augustine. And they're on Hippolyta Street, 1 Hippolyta. And if you come to DJ's Clam Shack, where Northeast meets Key West, because they were born in the Florida Keys and rooted in New England tradition. And so what we find is DJ serves up lobster rolls, fried clams, conch fritters, and more, made fresh with the highest quality. Ingredients at prices you'll love. Okay, they're open Tuesday through Sunday from 11 to 9. It's the perfect spot to grab a bite, stroll the old streets of St. Augustine, and taste one of the best seafood experiences in the country. Now, I think they're closed until the 19th because they're cleaning as they do every restaurant, but they'll be open again, and you could watch and be there and find something you'd really enjoy. The other thing is with the Shee family. The Shee family is people that you all know too, Greg and Mark.
Absolutely.
And we'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the Shee family because one of the most generous and community-focused families in St. Johns County. Through their work with Tringali Barn, a premier event and wedding venue, and the leadership of Chris Shee. And I think he's over in Iceland.
Oh,
right now.
yes.
Yeah, so I think that's where he's at. And
Beautiful.
The family continues to support and uplift countless local causes. Their commitment to giving back makes a lasting impact, and we are truly grateful for all they do for our community. Thank you, the Shee family, and you make St. Johns County stronger. So what we've got today, Greg and Mark, is that we're talking about the West King Health and Wellness Center. And so I think we've had some pictures of it that shows it that gives us some idea of what we're doing, and it'll be helpful to just take a quick look, and then you'll see where we're going. And there, it's opening soon. And so we'll find it, we'll find that West Augustine Health and Wellness Center, and you'll see when it's starting and when it's going, and that'll help us go all the way through. So hopefully that you'll figure this out when we finish talking about it, because we know that we have with us really the people that have been so involved with getting this done, that are one of, Greg, you've been the founder and president of the West St. Augustine Historical Community Development Corp.
Correct.
And you've done that. And Mark, you've been involved with so many things that I can't even explain them, because you've helped with so many nonprofits yourself, and you've been so much on this as well, helping on West King, that makes this something really well. And we thank you for that, for both of you for doing it, and all of the other people that have done it with you. And so we know that. So, Greg, I want to start off with you a little bit today, and then we can get into the rest of the conversation, because I want these people to know what's going on in West King. All right?
Okay.
All right, well, tell me a little bit about what's happening since last year of September of 2024 to where we are today.
I won't have any time left after this, I can tell you. He has a lot to tell you.
Well, he will.
Well, I tell you, the year went by extremely fast. We had the groundbreak in September of last year, and it was very, very exciting. We had over 250 folks to the groundbreak.
I think we have pictures of that, where all the, there they are, out there doing it. Here we go, yeah.
Yeah, we set up a tent with 150 chairs down, and once we did an approximate count, it actually seated about, like I said, 250. So a year passed by, and if you got some more pictures, you could see some of the preliminary construction. And then the first picture shown is the way it's going to look once we finish. We got the great Les Thomas, our architect, and the beautiful got that Spanish flavor to it.
Oh yeah,
So
that
we
makes
are
it good
yeah,
here for
oh,
our
yeah.
community.
Oh
yes.
yeah, oh yeah. So we are very excited. The year went by quickly. So that's pretty much where we are.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more because I think there's a little bit more to this.
There's a little, yeah.
So,
It was 150 degrees that day too.
yeah, I'm sure. Well, Mark, I want you to kind of give an update on your side of what you've been able to do with helping all of these others that were necessary for us as well.
Sure.
So,
And I did notice that when you mentioned the sponsors, you looked right in my eyes, and I know I need to be a sponsor. And I thank Chris. See, I ran into Chris one day, and he said, "Don't worry, I got this when you get the next one."
that's right.
Well, obviously, we're extremely excited about the Wellness Center, and while it is a West Augustine Health and Wellness Center, it's going to be the Greg and Lydia White Health and Wellness Center, and we announced that at New Mount Moriah recently when we were there speaking with the congregation about the services that are going to be provided.
Great.
So Lydia was right there with Greg out the groundbreaking and by his side throughout his life, helping him with the amazing accomplishments they both have. The impact on the community has just been unbelievable. We could talk about all the things that they have done to help, in particular, make West Augustine a better place, which makes the entire community better for everyone.
Yeah, no question. And what we found, Greg, as well, is that this affects infant mortality.
Mm-hmm.
It affects people that have diabetes. It affects everybody, whether you have a medical or a mental issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be for all of that. So tell us a little bit about why it's taken 8 years to be able to get to this place, because it took a long time to break this thing open, to put it in the shovel in the ground.
Right. The numbers don't lie, as some folks say. The infant mortality rate in this particular zip code is 4 times higher than any other segment of St. Johns County. We applaud St. Johns County for being the healthiest county in 11 consecutive years in county.
Right.
So that's phenomenal. However, you mentioned diabetes, the highest rate in the state. Cancer, the highest rate in the state. HIV, the highest rate in the state. All of the ills that destroy the body is located primarily in this section. So we know the solution. So the Health and Wellness Center we know the problems rather. So the Health and Wellness Center going to bring us the solution. We partner with UF for the health.
Right.
The stigma of mental health throughout America is great, but in an underserved area, in my opinion, it's magnified by millions. So we want to erase that stigma. So we brought in EPIC to address the mental health and also the substance abuse.
Right.
All righty. And the YMCA, of course, Wellness Park, with the treadmills, the stationary bike, and then learning how to use this equipment is going to be monumental as well. Youth crisis.
Right.
We identify some of the problems that the young kids have opposed to the judicial system. They're going to go through youth crisis. And we're also going to address the uninsured. Wildflower would have a room in there as well, or some rooms in there as well.
Right.
Well, that's all great.
I think I named them all, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I was just, the way this, and we talked about this at the groundbreaking, God really put this project together.
Well, there'd been a lot of praying before that.
That is unbelievable, because the hurdles that the team had to go through to raise the money that you mentioned, originally with the $5 million from the county, Henry Dean was the chair. We met with the commissioners, feels like 50 times, the various commissioners, and presented all that data. Had Phil McDaniel there, Rachel Miller, and a lot of team members from the county that helped convince him that this was a perfect use for those ARPA funds.
Right.
And then when we were able to get that commitment, unanimous from the commission at that time, we thought the project was going to cost about $6 million. Well, guess what? Construction costs started going up. And so as we bid it out, we found that we were closer to $8 million, and went to the state, had a commitment for $750,000. And then it was on a list that was DeSantis vetoed all of those projects. It wasn't, it just didn't like the process that they all went through, apparently. And so we went back the next year and hired a lobbyist, and Frank Meyernick and Tracy, and requested $3 million. And they felt like, we kept hearing, Greg and I kept hearing, DeWalla and And Gerald and everybody, you can't ask for $5 million. It's too much. Well, it wasn't.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't ask for $3 million. It's too much.
Yeah,
They won't even consider it.
I think
Well,
you
it
had a
was.
state senator helping on that.
We
too.
had several helping. Tom Leake and Paul Renner and Travis Hudson and Travis Cummings on our team. And as I said, Frank and Tracy and Kevin Sweeney behind the scenes. There were so many people
Right.
that were involved in that. But there you go. We had the $8 million. They said that it couldn't be done. But as a team, we were able to convince. You talked about the real need in the community, and clearly the data shows that community, West Augustine community, has been underserved in regards to medical care and access to care.
Well, we know this too, that there was nothing close by to be health treating. So you got to be able to understand that, because that's, if you have to go all the way to Flagler Hospital or you have to go to some other place and you can't get there fast enough. And so if there's a woman having a child, sometimes they pass away because they didn't get there in time to be able to save them.
Right.
So we know
and they were
that.
ending up in the emergency room.
That's right.
Most of them.
That's
and
right.
we knew that from the data. We could see what was happening.
Right.
And as Greg mentioned, just all those other partners having Wildflower come in with Epic, they're sharing space. And so you've got the completely uninsured covered, the underinsured covered, the insured covered with UF Health. And of course, that all started when it was Flagler Hospital, and UF continued that commitment.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So as we're talking about this as well, I'm trying to figure out when this started happening, because I know that you have a principle there for doing this, a principle of what the measure will be for everyone else when you want to do it. And I've seen that you have that as one of your statements that say that, and I want you to tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think any underserved area, in my opinion, is underserved. The word itself explains everything. It's underserved. And taxation without representation, unfortunately, still exists throughout America, unfortunately. So we assembled a team actually with the CRA Steering Committee.
Right.
That started in 2000. Those are like resolutions. It's 2000-146. And they came up with 6 components to make an underserved area prosper. And if I try to name all 6, I'll probably forget 1 or 2 of them. But affordable housing certainly was one. Blight and abatement, infrastructure, policing, cultural. Like I said, it was 6 of them. So we looked at that data from the CRA steering committee, and then we began to talk with the commissioners at the health department and everyone else to try to figure out, okay, how can we come together as one to address these problems in the underserved area? And I must say the majority of the county commissioners bought in, and the city commissioners bought in, the directors, county administrators, city managers, et cetera, bought in, because once the data is there, nobody can't argue with the health department if they say in this area, the infant mortality rate is 4 times higher. Okay, but now what we're going to do about it? So let's begin the process. So we begun the process. So you mentioned 8 years. It's amazing how time flies, but we stayed the course.
Yeah.
I think if one would look at historic West Augustine now, from 2000 to 2025, in 2000, all dirt roads. Okay, in 2000, city water was probably at maybe 65%. There was no sewer to mention. Now we got like 97% on city water. So if you had a well, you're not drinking your sewer. So it goes a little bit deeper than just, one component. There's many components to lift that area. And once and the street lights, let's take something as sidewalks. Something as simple as street lights and sidewalks was not there in 2000. Now you ride down historic West Augustine, which was established in 1889. You see curbing, you see sidewalks, and you see lighting. Yeah. So like a rebirth.
No, it is. And I think as you get into this too, Mark, you've seen this happen because you were involved with a lot of that the sewer area as well.
Well, I tried. Are you going to get into that?
Well, let me
You tried. Your goal was to get it done. Your goal was to get it
It was, but
Rick, let me touch in on a little bit there. Mark, if anyone know Mark, he's very, very tenacious. When Mark realized that the infrastructure, specifically the sewer, was a
Right.
problem,
Right.
he fought like a giant,
Oh, you did.
trying to get
I knew
everything done
I
as
know.
far as sewer goes.
that. Yeah.
Now, mind you, this is the 21st century, and we're still talking sewer. Okay, so we appreciate you, my brother.
well, I love you, my brother.
I love you
That's
too,
one
my
of the
brother.
great blessings.
Yeah.
Well, we've been very much together, and so
Yeah.
we understand that and how we do with each other. And I was thinking about a few other things while we were going through this, and we were going to try to have another person here with us today,
Mhm.
and I want to give him some real help because
Absolutely.
he was so good for you all as well.
And by the
Yeah.
way, they're both veterans, and we thank you.
Oh, that's true too. That's true.
But he's
too.
a Marine.
Yeah, he does kid Greg about that a lot. 'Cause he says he's a real veteran.
Yeah, well, Gerald Chester, and he's also in Bethune-Cookman, and where he helps that stuff for his own company.
Mhm.
That's a nonprofit to help you, and he became a consultant for you.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So, and he's also on that he does things for the first responders and the people that need to be in a home
Mhm.
that for regardless of what their amount of money that they have.
Right.
He's strongly in favor of that, and that's been a very interesting. I think it's like 26 years or something. I mean, he's been doing this just helping others,
And very
I know
humbly, he is
right.
such a great.
Oh,
when we're in the room with him, Rick, we just let him talk.
Right.
We always say he's the smartest guy in the room. We would not have been able to
well, he is a great consultant.
this
as well.
reality,
He knows
yeah.
exactly where
yeah.
to go and how to do it,
Mhm.
and
we love him.
we'll. I know you all will be missing this opportunity to see him, but there things happen in life, and you can't do it all the time. So.
Amen.
We're just grateful that he's done what he's done with you all. So as we're going through the rest of this whole part of it,
Mm-hmm.
we have more than just the health and stuff that's there. We've got a lot of other things still to do, and you're both are helping to get people to come in there and have jobs and places that they can be. I mean, you've made this into more than just one place,
Mhm.
but this place begins the important part
First step.
of starting the whole process after water and sewer. Now you have health and wellness.
It's all about community.
That's the way it works.
Right.
And now you want to have the jobs.
And if I can give you an example of this, and I've been blessed to be on the YMCA board for over 30 years, and we've been talking about a YMCA in West Augustine for that entire time. And to see this happen now is amazing. But one of the things that's so fun and is going to be so dynamic about this resource that when we were speaking at New Mount Moriah, Seth and Greg and Alicia and I about a month ago, Brett asked how many of the congregation could swim, mostly adults, and probably a third couldn't. And so now we're working with the Y when the Y opens up to try to also bring in more adult free swim lessons to the community. So the involvement and the ability for this to evolve as the needs of the community are better known, we're just going to be flexible. And with each one of these organizations working together, I think the impact, when we look back on this 10 years from now, it's going to be immeasurable.
Well,
Really
we
do.
can already start seeing it really well. You see some new buildings that are people that are coming in already. You've seen it. You've seen some restaurants that have come in a little bit more, that was more active at bringing more people into the community. We see all of that starting to become more. And as you go through the road and go all the way down to King Street, all the way down, you go all the way to another place where there's farmers and all of these things at the end.
Right.
So you got them all together.
Yeah.
You're connecting the farm and the city together. And I've
Mhm.
always thought that was important for all of us.
Right.
Because now we know what we are with each other. And without that, how can you possibly become one? Where do you go if you're just with only one side, a city side or a agricultural
Right.
side? Why is that not together?
Doesn't work well.
It has to be
Right.
together.
Right. Absolutely.
And then we become one.
Right.
Then we become
Right.
one. And that's really the way that it's happening. And you see it. You all have seen it so much more. I just happen to be around every once in a while.
Well, you're always around every place I go. I see you.
That's it.
And we were talking about your son earlier and what he's doing at St. Augustine Beach and his leadership there and throughout the entire community. Everything he's involved in, you have to be proud of him.
Well, I told him that I'll be the first person to vote against him now. That I'll be a city member of the city.
Your vote won't matter. He'll get reelected.
He's been unopposed for the last 2 years.
Dylan, don't worry about it.
That's because he's doing a great job. There's a reason he's unopposed. Okay, there's a reason for that.
So anyway, so that's it. But you've talked about so many other people. I mean, we don't want to let them down either, because you have some people that have been working in other areas. The CRA, as you've already described, that is an important part of that community. And it really does require people to be on it all the time, protecting each other, guiding each other. Hey, that's what God does.
That's what God does.
That's what God does. He protects and he guides us on a path of righteousness.
Right.
And that's really why we're sitting here today, because this is the day of reflection. A reflection of why we're here. And the only reason why we're here is because he led us on this path. And without this path, we couldn't have been there. And that's really, you can make up any story you want about, hey, well, this was a good luck charm or whatever it was. And this was a wishing well.
Right.
This was not.
Right.
This was something that God had in plan for you if you stuck to it and followed it through. And so that's why 8 years is there. Just think of all the daggum when the Israelites were going for 40 years.
Right.
They were just going around in circles.
Right. Well, if you go to a CRA meeting or a CDC meeting, God loves a cheerful giver.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are cheerful givers. And it's a time, talent, and treasure. A lot of people think you have to write a check to impact. Really, what's more important is time. And your energy and being a part of these things. That's what makes things happen. The money is important, but there's plenty of money. We can come to you and have you help out every time. But it's that time. And that's what I see with Greg and the entire group, is that they don't stop. You go to one of those meetings, you will walk out of there and go, wow. Or they are accomplishing a lot, and they don't rest on what they have achieved.
Right.
They're looking forward, making things better all the time. It's really amazing.
Well,
Wonderful.
one of the things that people have told me about this program is that sometimes I don't tell you the names of the people again. So Greg White, you're here with us today, and Mark Bailey, you're here today. So I want to make sure that they understand who you are. And I'm just plain Rick.
Well, everybody knows you two. And I'm sorry I'm so casual, but we have the ALS walk coming up on November the 8th. So when I get up in the morning, Alicia has one of my ALS shirts next to my shorts, or whatever I'm going to wear that day. So
That's right. Well, you wanted to do that too to help these people, because I know a lot of people that have gone through the ALS. A lawyer that I knew, and how fast it went. It's a terrible disease. There's so many terrible diseases, and we have to go through all of those. And that's why the health is important. That's why health is there. And so we can help people before they get caught up in it. Doesn't mean you can stop it, but it means that you can get together with it.
Absolutely.
And help others. And that's really where I think we find each other. So I think that's an important part as well. I wasn't going to do this poem early, but I am, because I think it
I think you might have sent it to me. You want me to read it?
No, you haven't. No. You haven't heard this one. Neither of you.
Okay.
It's called Health and Well-Being.
Ooh. Okay.
Where are the flowers now? Because they were here yesterday, and maybe again tomorrow. But that was many years ago when the flowers were planted. And soon they stood on the holy ground, once found in the cemetery where families prayed, with sadness and joyfulness, ready to hear the words we want but failed but not received. Why did this have to happen when a pregnant woman died? Because there was not a single place of health that now will be the Health and Wellness Center in West Augustine for those in need. But now there are streets of King and places where we were, but not many years before. But now our prayers finally brought God here to give us hope once again. Thank you, O God, for all the work our community did to give us more years of peace when we are needing a place for healing. It's this moment we won't forget because all of us were helping as one and willing to help those in need with another step forward once again. Let us pray together and share God's peace and love that fills our heart and soul with a better place for health and wellness, and will give well-being for those in need.
Wow.
So that was today, and it's one that
was
I
wonderful.
thought about would fit in with where we're at
Yeah.
today, and so that becomes a place there. So let's move on to something else that
Okay.
keeps us in this. Tell us a little bit about the buildings themselves. Let's have another picture of what's going on in the buildings, if we can.
Will you send that poem to me though?
Yeah,
I'd love it. I think I might frame that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was right on point for today.
Yeah.
Gerald just called, so he made me on the way. I just texted him and told him he was on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if he comes, we'll have him in. We'll be
We'll
glad
have
to
him
set
in.
him in.
Okay.
Yeah, but tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here, Greg.
Okay, that's the first floor, and that's some of the ductwork that's finished now. The first floor, they are pretty much drywalling that. That's an early picture right there of the center.
All right, and then there's another one coming up, I think, too.
Les Thomas was the architect. By
Yeah,
the way.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Les Thomas is doing so much stuff as well.
He
He
was-
does it for the amphitheater. He does it for so many places. Yeah. So I think there's another one. Okay, so now we got this fence out to protect it, I guess, from people coming in there until it's done. But tell me a little bit about what we're looking at. now.
Okay, that is actually the south side of the
Mhm.
building, and on that's the bottom floor with the arches. That's where the YMCA is going to be.
Right,
The color is going to be that color, but that's just the primer coat.
right.
They stucco in it. I don't know whether they have the south side. I mean the east side, but that's the south side. That's on King Street. As you pass, you look at the art. That's the Les Thomas design. He got his fingerprints all over that. But that's the south side as you're driving down King Street.
All right.
You'll see Greg in there on the treadmill.
Yeah. That's
It'll
right.
be fun when you have the the windows right there on the
Yeah,
main
that's
street.
Great. Yeah, that's
It does
great.
look like the old Florida
And
Memorial
that-
College.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we had that at the very beginning there that showed what's coming next. So let me just put that back up just
Okay.
for a short second or two. Well, that's the design. So what I had before was the
Oh, yeah.
design. Go ahead, put that back up if you would.
They're opening soon.
Yeah, that's the we're going to do this first. That tells you what it was going to look like
Mhm.
as part of this whole thing. And so now as you scroll down, you'll see it as we come in. So let's see where it goes next.
And by the way, Mike Davis and John Allgreen and his team are the contractors. I don't know if we mentioned that yet.
No, we
Maybe
didn't do
didn't,
that. No,
but
we
he
should've. We
he
should've.
is.
Yeah,
As we were talking about before the meeting,
Yeah.
I don't know what we would have done without
So,
that.
yeah.
And it is right on time.
So
too.
this is what it's going to be when it's finalized. So we see how it was in a drawing by Les, and then now you see it as to what Les will see it as personally coming in all the time. So it's a beautiful, beautiful building. So we see that all the time.
It's interesting. A lot of people don't know what it is. I run into people every day,
Trying to figure out
And
what's
and I
going on.
mentioned. Well, I mentioned. And they go, "What are you talking about?"
Mm.
They don't, and they see the building, and nobody knows. A lot of
No
people don't know
signage up there.
still.
Well,
saying
not
what it's
yet,
gonna be.
not yet, because they will start learning it like today and other days when
Yeah.
we have other people to know what's going on and why this community that we're living in St. Johns County are caring about others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the more important part of this is not the building, it's what's going to be in the building.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly
it's
right,
the,
right.
the building's important, but just have to have the cornerstone with
Mhm.
God. That's
Mhm.
all. That's
Absolutely.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
So there you go. So okay, so we're into that side of this, and when if he comes in here now, we want him to be able to just we'll take a short time, and I'll say something else.
Yeah.
while
Well,
we're
we can talk about the ribbon cutting. So we've been.
Okay. Yeah.
We thought we might have the ribbon cutting in December. When I was talking with Gerald and Greg and Mike the other day, we may move it into January. All
Right.
the leases for the tenants start January the 1st. So
Okay.
the building will be active and hopefully open, and we may have a ribbon cutting kind of post opening of the resources
Sure.
that are there. So we hope that the community comes out in droves to to be a part of that and to celebrate that day.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Well, I'm sure
We'll try to keep it a little shorter than a groundbreaking was. I know I was a little long at that. I'm sorry.
It's sometimes you've got to be able to help, and everybody wants to be part of what they want to be saying, and that's the case. In fact, if you go on to the county, there is a whole story of that opening.
Oh, really?
That's on there. So if you
'Cause
go
they
to the county,
videoed it.
yeah, you can see a video and what people are speaking and stuff as well. I went through that over the weekend,
Yeah.
and I had not seen that
Oh,
before.
wow.
So yeah, so any of y'all who want to see how this started with the first grounding, with all of the different people speaking at that time, it's on there. All you have to do is go to the county, the St. Johns County, and look for really this whole time of what we're talking about the wellness, the health and wellness center.
Right.
That's all you have to look for,
Right.
and it will pop up. And I think
Right.
you'll find it very interesting. I would have put that on, but I thought, no, we don't need to do that. We'll talk about it and then show what the pictures are. And if somebody else wants to get into more detail, they'll hear everybody that spoke. So there you go.
Well, is he coming in? So,
I'm waiting on his response.
you know, one of the things that we definitely all the organizations definitely need the community support. You know, we need to make sure that the UF is, you know,
Right.
that there's people that are utilizing that clinic. Those metrics are going to be important for the long-term partnership with UF. And I think the other organizations are already well embedded there. Youth Crisis Center does a great job in the community. And the YMCA, we need to have members.
Right.
So people that, you know, that we have the membership costs are reduced for that location versus others. And they have a sliding scale based on a person's and family's income as to what their membership cost might be, but we definitely we need to make that a success,
Right.
so that, you know, the Y can put more resources into it. Greg talked earlier about diabetes and high blood pressure. When you go to the YMCA locations, you see the Brooks Rehabilitation team members in there a few times a week. Like I go to the beach and they're in there working with stroke victims.
Right.
I mean, that's what we, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You got people that, to your point, if they've had an event, we got to try to get them back
That's right.
in a normal
That's
pace
really
of life.
important.
So
That's
there are
really-
programs like that we want to keep going, make sure they're vibrant, want to make sure that they can be a reality for the long term, because this is we don't want to see any of the organizations in the that resource center not be successful over a decade at least.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
It won't. Once
I
it gets going, it'll continue on, and there could be other people that donate to the YMCA just for that alone.
Well, thank you for mentioning that. That's important as well. I committed to Eric Mann from the Y that we would, you know,
But you have all of that. You know, there are ways to do all of this together because we are one. I mean, that's as long as we stay as one, we can go anywhere. We can go anywhere.
keep God
because
first.
God goes first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we just follow Him.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's really not hard. It's just sometimes you might pass the mountains and you don't like where you're going.
We had some of those days,
That's right.
didn't we,
That's right.
Greg?
Yeah. Well, we always know that can happen in our lives, but you know, we're here because, you know, as I've been reflecting on this, because I was spending some more time about what was going on and the wellness, so forth, and I wanted to see, because I knew what Greg had been doing, what you'd been doing on it already, because I'd already known that, and also Philip and all the other people,
A lot of people.
some county members as well, and all kinds of things that have gone on. And it's the reflection is this: as we sit here today, what did we find about doing this? What was there that was important to you, not to me, not to us here, but to the people that are going to be in need? Tell me what your reflection is. Is that something you like or something you don't like? Because I can tell you this: one day, one night, you're going to be woke up in the night, and you're going to say, where do I go to get help when I'm on West King?
Mhm.
And the answer is, I have a place, and that place will be open for me. And I think that's the way it works.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
awesome.
reflection that you can never forget.
That's awesome.
And it's one that you just want. You want it in a way that just fills your heart and soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, fills your heart
Yeah.
and soul with love. With
Yeah.
love. That's the real issue.
Mhm.
Everything we're talking about is with love.
Mhm.
because without love, how can we do it at all? It's not just living a life of your own, but it's love with God too. And God is the love that we want with us all the time,
Absolutely.
no matter what it is. So
Absolutely.
I'm all for that. And it's just, again, that's one of the reasons I'm here today, is because I wanted to make sure that everybody could reflect upon what things are in their own lives and how they can make it better with God. And that's all. That's it. So there's nothing else that I have. That's why it's just old plain Rick.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned all the support. The commissioners, past and present, with Sarah and Clay and Christian, and they just have all continued to be amazing and to be supportive of West Augustine and Joy. What we do, Joy's just been unbelievable, and without any one of those people, to your point, being committed to it and understanding that the impact and believing in it, it might not happen. It's just like I was thinking about the situation with the state the other day and that funding. Had we not hit that year, we wouldn't have gotten that money because they didn't do that this year. And what I'm hearing is they're not going to be giving out a lot of money for programs like this next year either. So we just we hired that lobbyist and put them and hit it. But it was God.
Yeah. That's the path.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the path. So I know that where we're at today is it's so, as it's been raining, as you can well be aware, because we've been soaked for quite a bit, and that rain has helped so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Because it took care of the flowers, it took care of the trees, it took care of the birds, it took care of nature, and yet we don't, thank goodness, have anything serious yet within our community because of that. We just keep moving forward, and so as it comes from the sky, you wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does, it's because the clouds are there.
Yeah.
And that otherwise, where is it with gravity? Gravity itself, it doesn't need gravity for it to come down.
It's so interesting you say that. I might have mentioned this to you before. After Hurricane Dorian hit the Abacos and all that salt water came up over the land, they said that a couple days after it rained, and had it not rained, all the vegetation on the island would have died.
It wiped it out. It wiped out
the
all
rain
the
washed the salt off of it, and
and that's why rain is so important for our lives. People don't know that as well. And so I got it. I know that for us that's the case, and really we ourselves are the rain with God, because He wants us to do whatever we can do and help others as though we are coming down from Him. And that's really the same thing.
Yeah.
He's given us this opportunity to come down with Him and follow Him wherever He leads.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know how all nature works. I mean, there's only one way I could ever explain it, and it comes with God.
Yeah.
And that's it, because there is no other way for nature to be.
He sent us some good waves recently, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you.
Some of them.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
I have a torn super spinatus, so I was paddling with one arm.
That's good. Any update at all?
On Gerald, he just texted. He had to go to D-line, so he will not make it today.
Okay, all right.
And he said actually thought the interview was tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll get him on the next one.
All right, we'll get him. We
Week.
talked with him, and we mentioned his name, and he's been so much important to us, and that's all great. So that's not any other issue. So we still got time to talk about some other things, and
Let's
not
talk about the Black History Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do that for a moment?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
The Black History Museum Foundation Board was finally assembled about 2 weeks ago. It's a 5-panel board to be going to expand it, but we have an entity, a 501c in the House,
right,
to be able to accept revenue, or if we get revenue from the Fed, the state, or even local. So that looks promising. We have not, as of to date, signed the lease agreement with FMU, Florida Memorial University, but we have verbal commitment. I'll put it like that. So we're looking at some alternate sites just in case
Right.
FMU decide maybe they don't want to do the lease or whatever the case may be. So we're planning on, at this moment, looking at alternate sites, still in historic West Augustine.
Right.
Finding 17 acres out there might be a challenge, but we think we have a site that we could look at just in case FMU decide to change their mind. So it's moving forward, okay, with the state. Haven't brought in the feds yet, but that's coming. The board have already talked with Community Foundation Board, the PGA, the Jaguars, and I'm surely going to miss some for funding to see can we get that soft course
Yeah.
and start moving in that direction. You mentioned jobs early on, and sometimes we forget a facility like our 14,000 square foot building going to bring jobs.
That's right.
That's
what-
automatic. We're going to get jobs. How many? Don't know, but we're definitely going to get jobs. But let's look at the museum. That's 100,000 square feet, $100 million building that's
Wow.
going to be ran by the state.
Wow.
So you get jobs there, you get your state benefits,
Right.
and then you get gainful employment by working at the Black History Museum. Phenomenal. The burning bus, we all know about the burning bus. We talked about that multiple times. But what excites me on the bus, 52 to 54 seniors. The oldest one was 92, 94 years old, okay? The bus catch fire on the interstate, and we pull off to the side, and the polo driver, he's screaming, bus on fire, bus on fire, bus on fire. Everybody got off that bus unharmed, thank God.
Right.
Everybody. Secondly, to Sheriff Hardwick, who immediately started making phone calls. I know Joy received one, I received one, and I'm sure others on the bus received calls from him. And he simply stated, first, he talks fast, of course.
Right,
So where
right.
are you? Where are you? There, we're on the interstate. Well, you won't be there long. I got somebody coming, and y'all going to make it to Tallahassee. So he sent his SUVs, and he picked up everybody, and he gave the folks, the 50-plus folks, we'll take you back to St. Augustine if you choose to go back. Not one person went back.
Wow.
Every one of those residents
Stayed on.
stayed on the bus. Now, when we walked in the chambers, we said we bought the smoke because we smelled like smoke from the
Yeah,
bus. And in my opinion, that shifted from Edenville to St. John's. So we thank God again. The tragedy brought sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing. Yeah.
amazing.
I didn't know the whole story of that, so I'm grateful to hear
Yeah.
that because I know I've seen the pictures. Yeah, the speakers right below it where everybody's there and all those great people that have been there with that, but I had not heard all of the story about
it.
the bus itself. So I knew there was something that happened, but I didn't know how you got there after that.
Oh,
So
Sheriff Hardwick.
Yeah.
Sheriff Hardwick.
And barely made the meeting, I think, right?
Well, we barely made the meeting. Myself, Gerald was with me. Myself, Gerald, Lydia, my wife, was with us, of course. And I had the pleasure of speaking.
I remember that. I heard
with-
that. I heard the
with-
speech
yeah,
as well.
Right. And so when it got time for St. John's, Howard Hawley,
Right.
who sat on the 9-panel board, said, well, listen, you heard about the burning bus. Let's take a recess, okay? And let's see, can we give them 15 or 20 more minutes? And by that time, Sheriff Hardwick had us here. Now, I got a call from Pastor Britt, because he was with one of the SUVs. He said, Greg, man, we're going 100 miles an hour. So I'm thinking when he said 100 miles an hour,
He was kidding, yeah.
Yeah, but no, he said, no, Greg. we are really going 100 miles an hour. When we got to Tallahassee, the local police picked us up from the front.
Oh my gosh! What a
Florida
story.
Highway Patrol, no, county, of course, Hardwick,
Right.
Florida Highway Patrol, and then the local police picked us up and got us there. And man, it was like,
Wow.
yeah,
Let me tell you.
energy, the
Yeah.
energy.
Oh, I could see it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what it reminded me of while we were listening to this.
Gives me goosebumps.
It's
Listen
called
to
The Burning Bush.
that. Uh-huh.
Moses, huh?
The Burning Bush.
Uh,
The burning bus to the burning bush.
fantastic.
That's where God is. And so now you see it. That came right to my
Wow.
mind right then.
Wow.
Right then. I didn't have anything to do about it. I reflected on that immediately,
Uh-huh.
and that was it. Because
Amazing.
it was your burning bush.
Yes, because that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Edenville would have got it Edenville had the chairman
Right.
of the 9 and the co-chairman.
Right.
So it was a done deal that it was Edenville.
Right.
But and Edenville, by the way, brought 3 people to that hearing.
Right.
Opelika brought 2.
Wow.
We brought almost 100.
Wow.
Well, I know
That's
that when I
great.
saw the pictures and listened to your speak as well, there
Mm.
it was a really amazing part of our whole story. I mean, this is not anything different than West King. Again, we're talking about what West King is going to be, because now we're talking about a museum. We're talking about other
Health and
things,
wellness
more
center.
jobs again, and more things here.
Mhm.
So it's not just about health today. It's about West King and
West
where
King.
West King is with God.
Mhm.
And those steps, and I know Britt as well. I mean, he's been on with me on another show that I had, and I appreciate what he's done too. And I know that's a place that I
Mhm.
would find him in a place that I know he would be with you
Mm.
all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
cares about that too.
Yes, he
yeah.
does. Yes,
So
he does.
yeah, so it's all coming together. If you could hear what we've just been talking about on several things together, the sewers, the water, the new sidewalks, the new health care center, the new everything, and a museum and everything else, and what they've done with the roads that are no longer dirt. I mean, if you think of everything we've just said today,
Mhm.
you see what's been happening within West King.
Mhm.
West King.
Let's talk a little bit, go back to infrastructure, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
I was thinking about that.
The past city manager, John Regan, in my opinion, is just phenomenal. I mean, he thinks out of the box. He believes in solutions. The residents in historic West Augustine and throughout the county, the city owned the franchise for water and sewer
Right.
out of their municipality. The state statute said you could charge 0% surtax or as high as 25%. Unfortunately, our leaders in the past went to 25% surtax. And so the question was asked by the CRA, well, what are we doing with the surtax, the 25% that we paid? I paid it for over 6 years.
Mm.
Okay?
Right.
And the answer was we had some other projects to do. All right. And then I said, well, how about the sewer projects? And we got a stalemate. John Regan came in with the solutions. He set aside $250,000 each year from the surtax, and we're going to do street by street by street. I know we couldn't get it all, Mark, but we wanted to get that first step. Since that happened, we've did all of Duval Street, all of St. John Street, and we from First all the way down to 7th Street, which is the main concentration
Right.
of residents. So it's step by step by step, but it's being done
Yeah.
as we said.
Right.
So I'm excited about that one.
Well, John Reagan was also very, very active and helpful
Right.
to everybody. Remember,
Oh,
his house got flooded twice.
Oh, I know. I
You
know.
know, so-
And
so-
they're running around on a boat right now having a ball. I
Oh,
talked to him not too long ago, he and
good.
Felicia.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
We're good.
Okay.
We got a good
So,
time. I'll tell you when it's over.
I'm sure you will. On the infrastructure discussion,
Well, again, here we have again is Mark Bailey and Greg White and just played Rick.
Greg, didn't the city get a substantial sum from the state
Mhm.
when John was still there? I thought it was
Yeah.
$8.5, $9 million
Yes,
for the
Yes.
water and sewer.
yes.
And so you and I have talked about this, that once the wellness center is done, we're going to kind of go back on that topic
Mhm.
as well as this 25% surcharge, because in my opinion, that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have happened. And I know there were some reasons that they could rationalize it, but really, if that revenue needs to be there, it needs to be spread out amongst the entire city so that people to other places get a little increase. That needs to happen. But I get the $250,000 a year, but where is that big lump sum, and are they putting it to use yet? I don't know the answer to that.
They have.
Okay.
They've expanded the sewer now tremendously. Certainly Duval and St. John's, which I mentioned, 1 through 7, which I mentioned, but they also got it on Pearl Street and some other side streets. Matter of fact, they're going to do Collier Hike. They're going to do Prior Street or Collier Street.
Okay, so they're jumping.
Collier.
They're spending
Oh, yeah.
that money.
They
and
are
good.
Mark. They
Oh, good.
they are spending it now, and this is kind of unprecedented when you think about it, because all these years you didn't have sewer,
Yeah.
Right.
and the septic.
Can you believe that? There were septic
Yeah,
tanks
well,
out there.
they-
They were overflowing and old. And,
Right. Well, we're trying to throughout the state, we're trying to get rid of all of the
Yeah.
sewers.
Oh, it's
And-
terrible for the water
It
quality. But
is.
we've seen
It is.
studies that it gets in. Yeah.
Water is the best. I mean, right now, water is the main thing that's happening here in Florida because we lost the deal with Georgia.
Mhm.
Georgia was able to get the water directly to them and not kept in Florida,
Mhm.
and they lost that battle. And now they went forward, and if you look at every community in the state of Florida, water is the number one issue.
Mhm.
Number one issue right now. It's the number one.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, because here's what's happening. They're requiring now that you cannot transfer some water that you have to another unless it's within the same area now. So that means if you don't have water coming from someplace, it's not going to be available. I can tell you, it's Henry Dean that you need to ask all those questions.
Yeah,
It's not
true.
me. He's the water
Right.
man.
And the
That's it.
population increases
Oh, yeah. Well, all of
exacerbated that.
all of
Yeah.
that, yeah. And and so people don't understand that we have a lot of things we have to deal with: water, garbage, what we're doing with all that. I mean, we
Yeah.
have so much stuff that it's just
Right.
it's really we're growing. I mean, just think we don't want to be California. I can tell you that because now
Definitely
we
not.
would have we have how many million they have 100 million people now or some crazy number like that. Maybe it's 50 million. I don't know how, but it's large. It is so large. It's like one of the top 10 countries.
Right.
That's really
Right.
Yeah, that's
I can
it.
see you being the governor of California.
Yeah,
you
that's
straighten them
right,
out.
that's right. Well, I like going to Napa Valley.
So Greg, David, and who I really like, David and Ruben, and their whole team over at the city, and then the commissioners. I think we've got a great group of city commissioners there as well. That makes me so happy to hear because I didn't want to bother you with that topic until the wellness center was done. But the fact that they're actually putting that money to use,
They are putting
and
it to use.
accelerating that
They are.
is
They are.
Yeah.
because that's what
Mhm.
the more you heard about the status of those septic tanks in West Augustine and what it was doing just in the residents' yards and then just overall in the community and getting in the Matanzas and but really impacting those residents' lives. I mean, I heard it like DeWalla, and talking about her house flooding every time, she had a hard rain and has been doing that for decades. And so it sounds like you're staying on them and they're doing a good job. And I love that.
Yeah, we met with David. We met with Jonathan Forster, one of the engineers, and we met with Stephen, one of the engineers, and Commissioner Cynthia Garris. She was at the meeting as well. And basically what we want to do, we want to increase the $250,000 set aside to $300,000 so we can do a little bit more. Okay, one step at a time.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that. One step.
Sure.
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Okay. So no, it's on the radar because it's important.
Yeah.
Someone told me a long time ago, Rick, they said when the curbing in, hope's in. God told me that a long time ago.
Yeah. That's a very interesting
That is
comment.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh? Yeah. Think about that.
Yeah.
And now we only got 3 streets in historic West Augustine that meet current code with the county.
Wow.
With curbing, street lights. Okay, only 3: Duval, St. John, and Volusia. Okay, which more to come?
What are we, the
So
second?
how many more streets are we talking?
Oh gosh,
A lot.
a
Approximately
lot. Oh, geez.
20, 30?
Oh no, streets, no.
Hundreds.
I
that,
was
those
hundreds.
that are going to require. No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to understand. But I thought the ones you're describing
Mhm.
are there. But where most of the houses are located, some of the streets have less houses on it as well.
It
so,
have less houses, but still a lot of houses.
yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a long time before we get curbing on all the
Wow.
streets and historic curbing as well as street lights. Oh, we're working with the county
Sure.
to increase the street lights.
Yeah.
Before we did just the main corridors. We did King Street.
Well,
We
that's
did,
what you did. We're doing.
Mhm,
Yeah.
right. The main corridor, King Street, Nolleton, Duval, St. John's, the main corridors.
Right.
Now we want to do some side streets with the
Okay.
lighting. The TIF money, tax increment revenue money,
Right.
from the CRA. The CRA was the greatest thing, in my opinion, that happened to historic West Augustine. Okay.
Well, I remember when you were involved with that whole
Oh, yeah. Oh,
process as well.
But it happened this way.
Yeah.
Past Congresswoman Corrine Brown made the statement where while traveling in historic West Augustine, it looked like a third world country.
Yeah.
It hit local papers, state, and national.
Right.
Her statement did. So it brought light to historic West Augustine. So that board, county commission board, said, okay, what do we do? They created the CRA.
Right.
Like I said, 2000-146.
That's what did it. That's
That
what
the
did it.
resolution,
Yeah.
2000-146 did it. And so now we could focus and put lights on, okay, what's priority?
Right.
All right. Yeah. And the process began.
That's great.
And we're the second most affluent county in the state. Is that right?
Yeah, we are. And not only that.
And we're having this conversation.
Well, let me tell you what's even more important.
We shouldn't be.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
The top 3 counties, including one city, is Key West is number 1 of the cost of the housing. Number 2 is one, I believe, over in
The Collier.
over on the West Coast, but further there. Number 3 is St. Johns County. We have the highest rating of all of the homes in the state. We're number 3.
And we're talking about streets that don't
and
meet
we're
code.
worried about streets that don't have
That's what I'm saying.
curbs.
And I'm not blaming any.
No,
any-
it's just
It has just happened over a long.
solutions,
Jerry.
But our current leadership, I think, is really focused on it.
Well, but we've got
really are.
we've got the best education in this county.
Right.
We have now hopefully a
Healthiest.
lot more. Yeah. So I mean we've got things that other states and other counties don't have.
Right.
States and counties.
Right.
Other states can't get what we have
Right.
here in our county.
Right.
It is. We're so for us, we need to be working again as one.
Mhm.
As long as we do as one, there's nobody that can stop us.
Exactly.
That's it. That's
Exactly.
it. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of the story of our lives
Mhm.
is that. Because if you thought about it, then unless you are one, how can you ever be together?
Right. Right.
So
And we need to make sure the county and the city are working well together.
that's right.
They're really partner, and I think that has improved a
Found
lot.
it improved a lot.
Yeah.
Improved a heck of a lot. Yeah, I
'Cause-
remember they weren't even speaking to one another many years back.
So that's a big deal because they can do a lot
Yeah.
together with all their resources that they have coming from various places.
Well, I know that we have all these things together,
Mhm.
and even our music is together. Like we're about to have one of Sing Out Loud again
Mhm.
coming up in
Yep.
September, and then we have the singing songwriters that'll be coming
Oh,
right
yeah.
after that. So that's
That'll be
all
fun.
within the city. That's all within this city.
Right.
And so all these things bring things together. And so it's not just St. Johns County, it's the city and St. Johns County and St. Augustine Beach.
Mm-hmm.
All of these fit together.
Right.
And Ponte Vedra,
Right.
which has a concert hall now that is so amazing.
Right.
So
Beautiful.
you got so many things happening here that nobody else could do that. I mean, listen, we're number 3 in the entire United States for St. Augustine for the amphitheater. Number 3.
Wow.
Yeah, there's only
Number
2
one in my heart.
Yeah, and based on per seat, we're the number 1.
Are we?
If we're based on just seats,
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that revenue?
it's revenue that comes in.
I've
but
been going
remember,
to the bar way too much while I'm there, I think.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of the artists get most of that money. so keep drinking.
Yeah.
When they opened upon it with your concert hall,
Yeah, I can remember you being there. Yeah.
Florida State University had a musical enrichment program at our Kids Safe Zone program at the American Legion. They did a 4-minute video on
Right.
that grand opening
I
at the
loved
Ponte
it.
Vedra.
Yeah.
Yeah, with our kids.
Yeah.
Were you aware of that?
No,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is so
yeah,
cool.
that's
Oh,
something
yeah.
you can still see, and you've got so many people that are involved with that.
Yeah,
That is
Jerry
so
Wilson is
Yeah, Jerry
phenomenal.
Wilson
Yeah.
was the one that really put that together.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So as we're going through, so
But the concept was, opposed to medication, let's use music to control emotions.
that was it. Well, see, that'll fit all of this together that we've been talking about West Cape.
Mhm.
It's a way to help children. So we're just about to finish up today, and I just
Oh, you told me you're going to tell me we're out of time. We get
not yet, but I was already warning you of it.
I can see that.
So listen, I gotta warn you at least. There we go. So we don't.
We got
get
two
through it.
shy people here, so you want.
That's right. I know you guys don't like to talk very much. So anyway, and I'm just a quiet guy.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we're finishing up. I'd like to finish up where we're at for the for what it looks like and when it's coming one more time of the whole health
And the
wellness
location?
center. Just put it back on the line. One last thing, and that'll be ours. And we hope that you'll join us again next time when we have others there. So opening soon is the Health and Wellness Center. And thank you, God and help us all to be together.
Greg and Lydia White.
There you
Help.
go. That's it. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Well, I've got to get that going a little bit more.
That's all right.
Well, thanks again, and thanks,
My pleasure.
Mark
Good to see you.
and Greg.
Greg.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Love your
you.
shirt, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Well, that's just another shirt.